Messy, messy, messy. This book was absolutely messy and I gobbled it up. When I say I gobbled it up, I mean that I picked this book up one night and I read it all in one night. It was really one of those just one more chapter, until it was 3 a.m. in the morning and I was on the last chapter. And you know what? I have no regrets, none whatsoever. I was just like, oh, this is sweet. So I'm just going to, okay, oh yeah, I just realized I haven't even told you guys the name of the book. Okay, so this is Til Death by Busayo Matuluko, and it is a Nigerian thriller, and guys, absolutely amazing. I'm just going to read the excerpt, and then I'm going to tell you guys a bit more of the book itself, especially the key themes which it explores, and then I'm going to give you the list of the cast because it was an extensive cast. I honestly, in planning this video, I'm just like, maybe I should get a whiteboard so I can just like connect, because there was a lot of drama happening. Like I said, it was messy. It was lovely. I'm going to try my best, try to keep up, okay? I don't really know if I'm going to give spoilers. I'm really just going to speak off the top of the dome, right? And so depending on where this video goes by the end, I will denote in the title of the video if it has spoilers or not. But yeah, let us just read the excerpt and then I'll give you guys more details, and yeah, it's gonna be nice and fun. Okay, so true crime obsessed Lara Oyenlola is heading to Lagos for her cousin's wedding. Glitzy dress fittings, glamorous parties, and of course the biggest event of the year await. But when Lara discovers that the bride has received anonymous threats warning her to cancel the wedding, it's time to solve a real-life mystery. As Lara investigates, she uncovers a web of lies, malicious crimes, and near-death encounters that promise to tear the family apart for good. RSVP to attend a killer wedding full of sinister secrets, bitter bridesmaids, and annoying exes in this slick and addictive mystery thriller. And yeah, this book absolutely delivered. Like we see here, so Lara is based in the UK. Her entire family is based in the UK. They are Nigerian, so they're British Nigerian, and her cousin is getting married. And basically, her cousin's family is a very, very affluent family in Nigeria. So, they got the money. Her dad is well off, so obviously the entire family is well off. And her cousin Darren, and when I'm going to give you guys all the names, but her cousin Darren is actually an influencer because, she's essentially a socialite in Nigeria that's opened doors. And so, yeah, she's in, the affluent circles in Nigeria. And so she's always being followed by gossip blogs. And she even runs like a whole, blog herself doing like makeup online. She's graduated. She's successful. Everything is great. Lara is in A-levels, essentially. She's just finished A-levels. And so she's just finished writing her exams. For those of you who are in the US or any other country, it's basically right after high school, you have like 2 extra years right before you go to college/university, depending on which country you're living in. If it's in the UK, university. If it's in America, it's college. Terminology, but basically means the same thing. And so her cousin Darren is 4 years older than her, still has already graduated uni, college, whatever, and is, found a nice successful job. Lara just finishing writing up her exams, and now she's waiting on her results to see if she got into the universities that she applied to. And Darren is getting married, so the entire family is flying over to Lagos to party it up, baby. It's gonna be fun. Like, if you've ever been to like a Nigerian wedding, you know that it's always the vibes. So that's the basic plot, right? You would think so. You would absolutely think so. Absolutely not. They go there and drama ensues. The entire family is coming, and you think it's going to be very, very simple. But as you hear, Lara finds out that Darren has been receiving threatening messages. And beyond that, there's a lot of inter-family drama going on and inter-circle drama with the bridal party, just the wedding party itself, not just the bridal party. The grooms, the groomsmen, the bridesmaids, the family, everyone has some drama going on, and it just leads to chaos every which way. But one thing I will say about this book, while it's a thriller, and so obviously, we're solving a mystery. One thing that I enjoyed about this book, outside of the messiness and the drama, is the fact that this book, it explores like several rich layered themes, and I think that it was handled so well, because all these themes that it explores, exploring it particularly within this like affluent society, so within the context of this high society Nigeria, and not just Nigeria, this high society Nigeria wedding turned thriller. And I think it was really, really well done. Just to give you a bit of insight, so some of the themes which it explored were family and loyalty, especially. Now obviously wedding, bringing the family together, family dynamics are going to clash, come together, so that's not surprising. But I think what I really enjoyed about it is the fact that the novel, it delves into the complexity of family ties, particularly how familial expectations, secrets, and unspoken tensions can shape relationships. Now, one thing that we see throughout this book is that Laura's loyalty to Darren, her cousin, they actually have like a really close relationship, even though there's a 4-year difference. Age difference, like her loyalty and her love for Darren, it actually becomes the driving force to the story. Like her commitment to helping her cousin out, solving this mystery for her cousin, protecting her cousin as well. Even as deeper family dynamics are revealed, like she's just committed. She said, I don't care what's going on around us. And a lot of things start to go on. Like as the book goes on, more things get revealed, more drama unfolds, and she's just like, you know what? I don't give a heck. At the end of the day, I am going to solve this because I'm going to ensure that Darren is okay at the end of the day, and it's really, really beautiful to see. Beyond that, there is also, as I said, this was in the this entire story, it unfolds within the context of affluent Nigerian society. And so of course wealth and social status is one of the themes which is explored. So this story, it's set in the Lagos elite circles, and I think I really, really enjoy this aspect of the book because you'll see in, I guess, a lot of books that Central Nigeria, no matter where you go, it will focus on maybe the rougher side of Nigeria. But I'm just like, there are a lot of people who are living well. Like, there's no need to always focus on that. And so I really, really enjoyed that. It focused on the elite, the affluent. So yeah, it's set in like the Lagos elite circles. And the book, what I loved is that the book examines how like wealth and reputation play into personal decisions. And you know what? I'm not rich, but one day, by God's grace, I will I will see how it's going to affect my decisions. But it doesn't just affect like, your personal decisions, it affects power dynamics. It even affects justice. And to be fair, let's be real, guys, we know that last part. We know it's going to, wealth plays a part in justice no matter where you go, not just Nigeria, UK, America, doesn't matter where you are. Wealth definitely has a hand to play when it comes to justice. Who gets served justice is justice actually served. And so the glamorous wedding, the setting of that, it contrasts with like the darker extracurriculars that are happening, especially when you look at all the background happenings that revolve around ambition, envy, and scandal. And so it's really, really interesting delving into that theme, amongst this whole like thriller. And beyond that, obviously it is a thriller, and with all the family and tensions and secrets, there's also this theme of just deception being explored, alongside all the secrets. And guys, when you go in, you go in. I think like a central theme is with this deception is this idea that everyone is hiding something, and everyone is hiding something. Like, you would think that there was at least one person that didn't have something to hide. Every single person was hiding something. You're just there like, come on, someone, please just be at peace. But so as Lara is investigating, as she's investigating the threats against Darren, layers of deception, they're just unraveling. Like, she's just pulling threads of deception, lies, secrets, tensions that were hidden underneath. Like, you're just like, what the heck? Is no one here for peace at all? Nobody. And so like she goes through everything, and she begins exposing betrayals, lies, long held grudges, as all of these things are coming to a head during the wedding weekend. And you know what, guys, if during my wedding weekend any of this were to occur, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna crash out. We're here for wedding, we're here for enjoyment. If you was gonna be beefing at that wedding, you should have been beefing at that wedding. Like, no, you will not be beefing at my wedding. You'll not be doing it. Go elsewhere, please. I will not. No, there will not be another remake of that video in front of my wedding. We're not doing it at all. I'm not having it. And obviously it's a thriller, and so like there's obviously themes of justice and obviously amateur sleuthing. Now with thrillers, I'm always kind of back and forth with the amateur sleuthing in thrillers, because I'm just like, come on, guys. Come on, be serious. But honestly, this world throws a lot at you, and so I've really just had to accept that. You know what? There might be some amateur sleuths out there who could actually like solve mysteries in the way that I'm seeing in these books. And in this book, I'm just like, you know what? realistic. You know, for the most part, anyway, for the most part. Yeah, so basically, Lara is a true crime fan, and that plays into another storyline in this book. She loves true crime. That's not what her parents want to pursue. We're going to look at that later. But like with her being this like true crime enthusiast, oh, the novel basically explores the gap between justice systems and personal accountabilities. And it actually raises questions about who gets to investigate, who is believed, and what it means to seek justice outside of formal systems. And because all of the thriller books that I will read with amateur sleuths, it's just a case of the official system isn't doing the job or didn't do the job well, or there were so much gaps in the investigation, and then someone had to step up and do their job for them. And it's kind of just like, we know that there are issues with justice systems around the world everywhere. And so this is why thrillers, you know, with amateur sleuths will never go out of, you know, they'll never go anywhere, because until you guys start fixing up, there will always be an opportunity for someone to write a book about how you guys messed up and someone had to fix it or do your job for you, okay? And there's also like this theme throughout the entire book of like love, trust, and betrayal, which isn't surprising with one, family dynamics, but also like it's a wedding. Like, so you just, you know, like love and trust is going to be really, really big, but you'd be surprised that the love and trust doesn't solely center on the couple getting married themselves, but it's it's everywhere. And the betrayal, everyone's getting betrayed. I'm gonna tell you now, when you pick up this book, everyone is betraying everybody. Like, don't think that anyone is safe from betrayal. Everyone, like down to the last chapter, down to the very reveal, everyone betrays everyone, okay? Because like the impending wedding, it serves as like this backdrop to explore romantic love, which is very, very sweet. And guys, when you, I don't really care for romances too much. You guys know that I don't read too many romances. I do read sometimes, but not too much. But as this book is exploring like romantic love, it's exploring like its fragility, like the illusion of perfection, and what happens when trust is broken within those, you know, within the confines of, you know, a romantic relationship, because you have things like former lovers, you have secrets from the past, you have current actual feelings still playing in the mix, still trying to push themselves into the mix, and all these tensions that are like testing the foundation of the relationships in the book. Like, some relationships will make it, some relationships will not. That's a warning for you guys, and you guys don't actually understand what I'm talking about. You'll be you'll be surprised, or if you're like me, you'll solve it. Yeah, honestly. And there's also like this theme of like female agency that I really enjoyed. Like, Laura's role as this amateur detective is, you know, the central point in this book, you know, and it highlights the themes of, you know, female autonomy, curiosity, and often the overlooked role of women in uncovering truth. Like, Darren's experience, it I think it reflects the pressure put on women to uphold appearances in marriage and in society, because, and this is one spoiler that I like, it's integral to the plot, but it only gets revealed later on how integral it is to the plot, because it's kind of mentioned in passing, and then you don't actually realize how integral it is to the plot. But then it speaks to like, it speaks to yeah, it speaks to actually a very, very important issue, and I don't really want to spoil it for you, because it's kind of just like, oh wow, especially because, like, you know, it speaks to even the stigma around certain things. And guys, guys, it's a lot. But genuinely, like, I was reading this book, and as much as I was enjoying all the drama and all the mess, like, it was all these themes that were coming out to the, that, made the book what it is, as it all kind of came together and all mixed to kind of give us like this fun book, but this book that actually makes you think really deeply and appreciate dynamics and culture and just everything around you. And so genuinely, it's amazing. Now, what I think is really, really funny is that I'm meant to be speaking about drama, but here I am speaking about themes. But you know what? So sorry. Okay, let's get to the drama. Let me give you guys. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna give you guys spoilers. So if you stuck this long, just know that you might get spoilers. But once again, I'll put it in the title if I do mention spoilers. Okay. First, I'm going to give you a list of all the characters, because guys, it was a lot. Even reading the book, as I was reading, I was just like, who is this person again? Like, it was a lot. Okay, so Let me give it to you, okay? First, you have Mr. Nee, which is Lara's dad. Remember, Lara's the protagonist. Yeah, so Lara is the protagonist. You know, she is the amateur detective. She's very deeply interested in true crime. But Lara's parents, you know, the traditional, you know, if you know, you know, you know, the traditional, like, as parents, they want you to do certain things. There are certain professions which they are looking for you to get into and that they respect. And they're just like, that's the career that you should get into that will secure you a good future and stuff like that. And so she's finished writing her A levels, and her parents want her to be a lawyer. But she doesn't want to be on that side of crime. She wants to be on the detecting side of crime and stuff like that. She even has an uncle who does it, and her parents are just like, you know, I think, you know, her parents are just like, you're always obsessing over these true crime books that will get you, these are not going to get you money. It just makes you stressed. You work long hours and you don't get too much money. Look at your uncle, da da da, and stuff like that. Not in a disrespectful, but they're just like, they want their daughter to succeed and be like well off. It's kind of just like, if you know, you know, like if you get, you get, yeah. And then you have Mrs. Adele, which is Lara's mom. So you have Nee and Adele, Lara's parents. And then you have Babs, Lara's brother. Lara's brother is also caught up kind of in the same situation as Lara, but obviously he's the side character, so he's kind of mentioned in passing, but, you know, they're siblings, and so they, you know, in the same way that his parents want him to be a medical doctor, and this is what they think he's going for, and he just wants to leave. He wants to drop out. I think he's done a year in uni and stuff like that, or something like that, but basically, he don't want to do it either. So both Lara and her brother are just like, I don't want to do this, and here I am, but I don't want to disappoint my parents. How do I tell them I don't want to do this? So yeah, that's Babs. Obviously, we have Darren, Lara's cousin, and the bride-to-be, who has been receiving these anonymous threats, you know, leading up to her wedding, telling her to cancel the wedding. You don't want to go. You don't want to do this. Stop this right now. Da 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 da. Don't make me go. Don't make me go this far. And la da da da. And okay, you have that. You have Uncle Tayo, which is obviously Lara's uncle, but Darren's dad. They are well off. He's well off. Okay, so he's Lara's uncle on her dad's side. So Uncle Tayo is the brother of Mr. Nee. Then his wife, Darren's mom, is Auntie Zay. She's hilarious. Like, she's a classic auntie, but then her Auntie Zay and Lara's mom, Adele, they kind of have like a beef that's not a beef. Like, they're friends, but they, you know, they're always kind of like beefing. Basically because like Auntie Zay married into the money, you know, because Uncle Tayo had money. She married into it. Like, she wasn't always rich, but she moving like she was always rich. And, you know, sometimes she acts a bit like pretentious, and then the mom is just like, look at her acting as if. But honestly, they're the best of friends. Don't let it be anything deep like that. There is some tension with some other things that, you know, some, you know, family drama that happened, like, you know, back in the past, but they love each other. It's all good. Then you have Uncle Yinka, which is another uncle of Lara's, once again from her dad's side. So it's a trio of brothers, you know. It's Uncle Tayo, Uncle Yinka, and Lara's dad, Mr. Nee. This one man shot. Hey! If I talk, this man, lazy, entitled, annoying, rude, disrespectful. I'm gonna get into it, okay? And then you have his wife, girlfriend. I don't remember if, I think they are married, but yeah. Auntie Yemi. This is she has stuck beside him. That's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him. Like, but you can tell she's frustrated, or like she's really frustrated with his nonsense. Like, everyone's frustrated with his nonsense. This man, nonsense from beginning to end. What? All I need is, I'm going to, if I was in this book, immediate flogging. You wouldn't make it out of this book without me flogging you. Nonsense behavior, Sha. Anyway, so that's Uncle Yinka and Auntie Yemi. It's okay. Okay, now let's get to the guys. Pissing me off. Okay, then you have Amaka, which is Darren's best friend, and, you know, chief bridesmaid, you know, alongside Lara. You know, they're, you know, sharing that duty, and she's lovely. You know, she's a vibe, and she's always getting together the other bridesmaid, Senny. She has an attitude from the very beginning. She has an attitude, you know, and then we find out a bit more of this attitude, but in general, she kind of just has an attitude. Yeah, we found out that there's some context to some of the attitude, but sometimes she's just rude. Okay. But, you know, when I say context, you know, she has an interesting past with the bride and groom, and so it's drama. But then Amaka is always collecting her, as in, like, don't stop, like, don't test me, like, get your act in order type of behavior. Then you have Kayode, which is the groom. Now, you know, Kayode doesn't even feature that much. I won't even lie to you. Like, it's like, bro, you're the groom. Like literally, think of Barbie and Ken. Like, when I was reading this book, I'm just like, you're involved in certain things, in certain dramas, but, like, not too much, okay? Like, genuinely, Ken. I'm not even joking. I'm just Ken. He was great. But, like, there's some drama and there's some things I'm just like, oh, you were definitely involved, Sha. You were definitely involved, and you definitely contributed to this mess. This is where we ended up here. Da 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 da. Okay, then we have Uncle Fola, which is Kayode's dad. They're not as well off as Darren's family, but like they have a company, and they are somewhere there, but currently they're not as well off as Darren's family. Like, no, Darren's family is rich. Yeah. And then you have his wife, Auntie Ireti. Guys, this side of the family, there's drama from the very beginning. It's wild behavior. Anyway, you have Auntie Tiwa. Now, Auntie Tiwa is a close friend of the family, so, and she's also the seamstress, like, doing all the dresses, obviously, for Darren and all the girls. So she's a close family friend. She's a close family friend. And she's also Joseph's aunt. You might be asking, who's Joseph? Joseph is Darren's ex-boyfriend, whose presence just irritates everyone from beginning to end, because he just adds this annoying, like, he adds complexity, but the unfolding events, the complexity that he's adding, we don't need it. We don't want it. It's not required. Actually, it's not that it's unnecessary. It's harmful. It's just bringing, it's pain, please. So Joseph is Auntie Tiwa's nephew, but his parents have died, and his mom was also close to Lara's mom. So there's a lot of intertwining here. He was like, he was dating Darren on and off for ages before Darren met Coyote, and Darren said, "Boop," ended for good. And yeah. So, and then last but not least, you have Alika, which is basically a useless wedding planner. Literally useless. She can't do her job. Every time you're looking for Alika to be doing something, where is she? Doing nothing. Anytime. Lara handled more of this wedding than Alika did. Like, she was just like, sis, where's your head at? Do you know what you're doing? Truly, why did they hire you? Do you know what you're doing? No, you don't. But anyway, let's get into the plot. Now, I have the names written down, so I might be looking down because sometimes I'll be forgetting names because there's just too many people. I told you, as I was reading this book, I was going and I was just like, who are you again? Like, I'm tired. I've now forgotten who you are. But basically, we get to the beginning. I love the intro. One thing I will say about this book is the fact that it stayed authentic. It stayed true to, like, at least what I've seen, what I know of Nigerian culture. I'm not Nigerian. I should have said this from the beginning. I'm not Nigerian. No, I'm so sorry. But, like, I'm around Nigerians. I'm basically an adopted Nigerian at this point. But yeah, so basically, like, she arrives in Nigeria, and the intro was amazing. It was basically like, you get to the airport, scatter. They're trying to move mad on the mom. The mom is just like, do you know who I am? I'm not one of these playmates. I'm not one of these tourists who you can try and scam. Go and play with I'm not your mate. Go and play with them, not me, okay? They tried her and she said, try me. You will not succeed. But anyway, great introduction. We get to the house. Lovely big house. Reunions. Hi, uncle. Hi, auntie. Hi, Darren. Hug. Ketchup, da-da-da. All this lovely jubbly. And then, just excitement. Then you hear screams. Obviously, you see the dynamics in these early introductions. You see the dynamic between, like, Auntie Zay and Lara's mom, essentially, with Mrs. Adele. So you see, like, they're bickering, but there's kind of just like, there's this camaraderie, this love, but we'll continue to bicker. And then so reunion, we love it. And then the bridesmaids show up, and then obviously I told you guys, like, the bridesmaids, you have Amaka, who's really, really, I love her so much from beginning to end in this book. I loved her. And then you have Seni, who from the very introduction, Lara was just like, and even me, I was just like, my dear, don't get backhanded in this room, I beg, please. But yeah, so we meet the bridesmaids, all well and good, everyone settles in, and then we go to the dress fitting, which is meant to be, like, super, super exciting, like, it's like, we're really excited. And if you know about Nigerian weddings, you know that there are several parts to a Nigerian wedding. There's the introduction, there's the white wedding, there's the traditional wedding. So there are several, and obviously we're not even counting, the bridal party, this and that, like, so there are several outfits that are going to be involved in a Nigerian wedding. If you do everything, you don't have to. Not everyone does all that, but obviously, get it together, you get to party, get to have fun, all that jazz. So, they're going to their dress fitting, right? And then, like, the grooms pull up and his groomsmen, right? And you think it's gonna be you think it's gonna be okay, cool. Look, your man's is here, right, girl? The groom shows up, right? Kaida shows up. There was a very awkward encounter between Kayode and Seni. Like, why don't y'all like each other? It was ghetto behavior. Remember I told you guys they had an interesting past with the bride and the groom? You gonna find out. Like, they don't like each other, Sha. Like, you're going to find they don't like each other. And then, not just that, Lara notices, but Lara's just like, what's up? And obviously, so that's one thing that she's digging into. And then, Joseph rolls in. And then everyone's just like, why is Joseph here? And then she's just like, Joseph? Who? You don't mean that Joseph? And they're just like, yup, that Joseph, Darren's ex. Why is he here? Because he's a groomsman. Why is he a groomsman? Because, because the aunties just had to find a way to niggle their little fingers into the entire situation and made him a groomsman. They got Darren to make him a groomsman. Darren was just like, she didn't want it all, but her parents are paying for the wedding, and Darren doesn't want any trouble. She doesn't want any. She's just like, I just want to marry my husband, marry my man, and go and enjoy a peaceful life. Yeah. Joseph comes in on violence, straight violence. I said, this is different. It's one thing for you to be a groomsman at your ex's wedding, but it's another thing to come on fire, on violence, on pure crap. He comes on crud. He brings her flowers. Like, she gets delivered flowers at first. She thinks, oh, it's from Coyote. No, who is it from? Joseph. Oh, he doesn't know your favorite flowers. Don't worry, I got you. Like, he came on crud, and he was on crud for the entire book. As in, I'm going to show you who you're meant to be marrying. You're meant to be marrying me. I'm your true love. Let that man go. He don't know you. We got history. He came on violent, and he didn't let up for the entire book. I said, Jesus is Lord. I said, God, please. Strike him down now. Strike him, because sir, please, I bet, please. The book is just beginning, guys. It's just beginning, just starting, and this man has come on his crud. And obviously, because he's a groomsman, the crud will be present throughout. And the funny thing is, because Darren didn't even want him to be a part of it, she just did it to appease like her, her mom and her auntie and stuff like that. She told him, please come in 2 weeks, literally the day before the wedding. That's all you're needed for, Sha. This man said, you think, huh? You think. And he's made it very, very clear that, like, it's not even like he's whispering this, like, obviously he's whispering sweet nothings whenever he gets a chance, but he's making it loud and clear that you don't even deserve it. Like, he's speaking to Coyote, he'll be saying, you don't even deserve it, and Coyote's just like, please, you're here because of family. Don't start with me. I will put you in your place. Guys, it's on crud from the very beginning, right? And then obviously that goes on, and then they go out that night and stuff like that. And that's another aspect I completely forgot to mention. So remember I told you they're part of the elite circle in Nigeria. The gossip bloggers are on crud as well. They're on fire. They're reporting everything, and they definitely have someone in the room, because with everything that happened, the gossip bloggers gossiped. They spoke. They said, so that night when they go out, the gossip bloggers. Oh yeah, she took Darren took her friends out. Her and the groom, they took their friends out, their bridesmaids and their groomsmen out. But who is this that I saw? Is that not Joseph, the son of like da 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 da? I heard that him and Darren used to date. I said, Jesus is Lord. And now people are gossiping. If that's true, the ex is a groomsman. Like, so it's already messy. And then you have Lara, who now finds out about the notes that Darren is getting. Darren is brushing them off. Darren is just like, you know what? I don't want anyone to stress. I don't want anyone to focus on stuff like that. It's not even that deep. It's not even that serious. My dear, someone is sending you threatening messages. Because at first it was just like a harassment and stuff like that. They were just like stalking her on like Instagram, and they would put rude comments on her pictures. But then she's just like, I'm receiving these like little notes and post-its everywhere and stuff like that. And then so Lara's just like, no, I'll investigate and I'll make sure like we find out who this is and what's going on, because honestly I don't want you to stress, and I don't want this to get any deeper, because these notes are definitely escalating in seriousness. And so she's just like, Darren, you can't ignore this for long. I know you don't want to focus on it, but put it on me, and I can get it sorted out. So from that moment on, she's focusing on the investigation. She's just like, show me the account that was stalking you, da 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 da, and all that. And so that's when the investigation officially starts and whatnot. So she she's looking out, guys, every step of the way, every part of the wedding, just chaos, nonsense and chaos, time and again, nonsense and chaos. You have the introduction. The introduction started with a bang. Just nonsense, guys. When I tell you guys, drama over drama over drama. The introduction comes, and everyone's looking sweet, very cute. The introduction is literally like, obviously the bride and the groom, they would have met each other's parents already, but then like in the Nigerian wedding, the introduction is kind of like this official meeting, and kind of like the groom and his parents come to say, we've come to take her, we've come to accept her into our family. And this is where the two families, they come together and they discuss like dowry and all that details and stuff like that. So all you see is chaos, right? All you see is the introduction is happening. Darren hasn't even Darren is like in the party. The parents are discussing and whatnot. The parents are in a room discussing. The parents and the elders. You just see people walk out yelling. So basically, You see Uncle Tayo and Mr. Nee, you see them, they come out and they're yelling at Uncle Yinka, like, how dare you? Like, da da da, how dare you? You need to shut your mouth and da 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 da. How dare you tell them that? So basically, Uncle Yinka reveals something to Coyote's parents that was not revealed. He said something to Coyote's parents that was out of line, essentially. And then he's just like, I'm just saying what's up. And he's just like, I keep telling you. Basically, I didn't mention, but Uncle Yinka is one gold digger, essentially. And he basically he keeps coming up with like new business ventures that fail, and then his brothers bail him out and give him money. Mostly, obviously, Uncle Tayo, who is, you know, the richest of all the brothers, and he basically essentially feels entitled to Uncle Tayo's money, as in like, oh, you're spending all this money on this wedding, and you know, you owe me. Like, he feels entitled to his brother's money, and so like he's causing trouble. But yeah, so the introduction mess happens, yeah, and then after that, there's more mess that's been revealed, you know, with the groom's parents and some previously made promises that will not be kept, or that they say will not be kept, but they don't tell Darren this because they know that Darren is prone to stress. They don't tell Darren this. But what's so funny is that because the conversation was happening between the parents and the elders, yeah, also Coyote does not know. Coyote does not know what was discussed and what caused stress. But because Lara is nosy, Lara knows. Lara knows. Now you have that, and then you also have like they decide, because it was kind of end of summer, they decide that Coyote and Darren, they decide to kind of throw one. They always have an end of summer ball, like, you know, they're either the affluent, then the elite circle, they always have an end of summer ball, and so they decide to make this end of summer ball their, what's it called, their bridal party. What do you call that? You know, that party, bachelorette and bachelorette party, I think, something. Their party. Guys, do you think there's not drama? Have I not been telling you? It's just drama over drama over drama. Guys, people start getting poisoned. People start getting poisoned. And you know what? Somehow the minute the poisoning starts to happen, I kid you not, the gossip blogger reports it 2 minutes later. It's actually insane. And then beyond that, there's a bunch of things going on behind the scenes that Lara has saw. But see, the thing is, Lara saw something that happened. Yeah, she saw two things that happened actually. Yeah, two things. She saw two things that happened, and another thing that happened, Joseph also saw. And so now we have secrets now. And the funny thing is, she has seen, Joseph has seen. But you know what? Darren does not know anything. Darren's just kept out of the loop of everything, yeah? And that is where I'm saying, like, family and loyalty and stuff like secrets, because, like, at the end, all these secrets come to light. All these secrets come to light. But the thing is, certain secrets that come to light were misconstrued, you know? It was a secret because you didn't tell Darren, but the situation was not what we thought it was or what it appeared to be. But at the same time, when it was revealed, they kept lying. You know that one girl, yeah? That one girl who sucked the girl when they were running track, you know, when they were doing the relay. And then, like, she lied and said it was an accident. And then the thing is, you have to die with the lie. You know, once you've already lied, you have to run with it. As she was running with that baton, you have to run with it, you know? Hopefully she doesn't strike anyone with that lie. But you have to run with it. You have to die with the lie. And so some people were trying to die with lies, you know? But then, at the end, the lie will not suffice. But basically, that happens. Oh, because basically, in the beginning of the book, the first page of the book is basically the gossip blogger reporting that the bride collapsed at her wedding. So it's not even spoiler because it's the first page. The bride collapsed at her wedding. She wasn't breathing. She had to be taken to the hospital. So as you're reading everything that's happening before the wedding, all the drama that's ensuing, all the mixed up relationships and whatnot, you are now trying to figure out with all this happening, because definitely a lot of these situations are, you know, the cause of the person who's sending the notes, and you still don't know who's sending the notes. You're trying to investigate who's sending the notes. It's all that happening. And remember I told you, like, Seni and Coyote have history. You know, Seni has history with Coyote and Darren together, and so like she's a bridesmaid, but she has history, and that is also causing trouble, causing strife, because she cannot stand Coyote, and Coyote is trying to like just keep the peace and kind of like literally just act like he don't see her, even though she's a bridesmaid. And then, like, you know, everyone is just like, how are you a bridesmaid when this is what's going on? Like, Laura is just like, how did she even end up a bridesmaid? Because she, like, your future husband and her don't get along. Like, what's going on and what exactly happened? And obviously she finds out a bit later. I won't tell you too much, but all this chaos is happening, yeah? And then at one point, the wedding almost doesn't go through, yeah? And then we get to the wedding, and you will think, oh, we've made it this far, Sha. We've made it this far. You will think so, right? Guys, I kid you not, the wedding starts with kidnapping. The wedding starts with kidnapping, and then we go through, okay? And then you think, oh, that's the end. Yeah, no. Mixed up, sabotage, and then you have the big boom, attempted murder. And then you get to the point where you're just like, is this attempted murder because the ambulance comes, Sha? Is it attempted murder or is it confirmed murder? Because the ambulance comes, but the ambulance took so long, Sha, because of something else that happened, because of some other relatives doing drama and nonsense and chaos and da. The ambulance took forever to get there, you know? And so it took forever for her to get to the hospital. So she wasn't breathing for a very, very long time. And we all know that if the brain goes without oxygen for a very long time, you know, the chances of the person surviving, or even surviving without any complications, is very, very deep. Because they might not wake up ever, and if they wake up, they might have a lot of issues. And so everyone's now stressed. Yeah, everyone's fighting for their lives. Yeah, some people were even missing. Like, why were you missing? Was it you? All this chaos. Joseph, did you do it? It's a lot. It's a lot going on, guys. And I'm just like, the heck is going on? Like, what is going on at the House of Commons? Because no! And so when that happens at the wedding, Lara is just like, oh my goodness, I failed. You know what? I knew we should have stopped this wedding. We should have gone through with it. Oh my goodness, I didn't do my job. I didn't find the person who's doing this, and I knew they would have gone this far. And so it gets to the point, in mystery novels and thrillers, you have that scene where we gather everyone. Yeah, we gather everyone, and then we tell all the truths. Yeah, and we out everyone until we figure out who the murderer is. So we did that. Yeah, we did that. And so all secrets start to come out. All secrets. Hey, guys, all secrets. I mean, everyone's getting outed. You know what? Well, you know what? How about you? You did this. And let's talk about you. You did better. Everyone's secrets laid out. And you see, threats are being made. Please. If Darren does not survive, I'm killing you. It's your fault. Threats are being made. And some threats are valid, like very valid. I won't even lie, because some people, like, honestly, like, what were you thinking? Like, you are to blame for everything. No, I blame you. But yeah. So you would think that at this moment, you know, we figure out the culprit, and it's kind of a partial figuring out, because the full figuring out doesn't happen. I was happy because I'm just like, I knew, and it was kind of obvious that it was a person. You would think, but you don't think. Like hold up. And then, like, obviously, there's a lot of, like, waiting, like, days. I think even weeks go by. My timeline is a bit messed up. With Darren in the hospital, like, they had to put her in a medically induced coma and stuff like that. And so, obviously, everyone's stressed. Everyone's sad. Tears. Like, it's just kind of just like... And there's also, like, all the revelations and all the chaos. Like, there's no peace in the House of Commons anymore. No peace in this family. And then, obviously, at the end, there's another rounding up of people. But, not... Yeah, everyone here. Most people who were in the original rounding up, and then there becomes the reveal of who the other part of the culprit was, because yeah, that's one spoiler for you guys. It's multiple culprits. And even from that point to drama, because the culprit, you're just over here like, huh? And then the reasoning you're just over here like, ooh, oh, like, no, we don't roll with that. Like, the culprits each had different reasons, but then each of their reasons were bad, but then there's one reason that you're just like, and then you're just like, yo, no. A lot of aftermath, and then you get to the epilogue. The end. I know that was absolutely unhinged, but like I told you guys, like, this book was messy, and so I don't think I could have given you guys the roundup in a less unhinged way. It was just so messy, but like, yeah, Til Death. Absolutely amazing. I loved it so much. It was great fun. It was messy, but it was great fun. So I definitely think if you're in for some mess, relationship mess, elite society mess, like family mess, you know, throwing aside of, you know, killer, then baby, you're going to love. So yeah, do be sure to pick it up. I'm so sorry that it was a bit chaotic. I'm not too sorry. I had fun, and I hope you did too. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Do be sure to pick it up, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.